Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta. I'm a busy wife, mom of 3, and an NANP certified supplement professional, but that's not all. I'm also the founder of the multi-award-winning Accelerated Health Products, a brand offering innovative natural scalar enhanced supplements to optimize your health. And this podcast is not just a source of information. We are a community. We're all here to learn and grow on our health journeys, regardless of where you are today. And this podcast is the springboard to learning. And the group coaching on Telegram is where we continue learning together. You can ask your questions. I post tips and tools to deepen your health and keep you motivated every single day. So here's what you can expect. New episodes every Monday and Wednesday with in-depth health discussions and expert guests. Hot topics that are in the news every Friday to keep things fun. And then, of course, followed up with the free group coaching. And the details can be found at my website, SaraBantaHealth.com. Have you thought about detoxing, but you're a little nervous? You don't want to be hangry or on a liquid diet or fail, right? And not continue. Well, I've created over 10 unique, easy detox cleanses, from just the colon cleanse to get you pooping, to the liver cleanse, to the candida cleanse, or the parasite cleanse, to the big one, the accelerated diet cleanse. And that will reset your hormones, your bowels, your gut, your brain, everything, your thyroid, get you off those weight loss plateaus. If you want to find out which one's right for you, just take the detox quiz at SaraBantaHealth.com to find out which one's right for you. And maybe you're not ready for a detox. Maybe you just want to start with 1 supplement or 3. Well, just complete the health goals form on my website for your free supplement protocol that I will personally put together just for you. And just by taking a few steps forward with your health, I promise you your life will change. And the difference is this time is that I'm here every step of the way. So today we're talking about combining supplements for your thyroid health. What works best together? It's not just one medication. And that's the problem. I cannot tell you how many people come to me and say, Sara, I take thyroid medication and I'm gaining weight. I'm not eating. I'm working out 4 hours a day. I have no energy. My hair's falling out. I'm constipated. My gut is not working. Everything is sluggish, but my doctor says my labs are normal, right? Does that sound familiar? Because that is happening to most people. And especially since the pandemic, I personally believe that at least 80% of you have suboptimal thyroid. Now, is it dead? Maybe not. Is it within normal range? What is normal? Normal is, look at that, the standard American diet people that are around you. That is normal. We don't want to be normal. We want to feel our best. And at 49, I have more energy than I had in high school or college. And that's the way it's supposed to be, right? You're not supposed to have to lose energy. You're not supposed to have to gain weight going through perimenopause or menopause. You can have good muscle tone, lower body fat, energy, full hair, skin that's vibrant, all of those things, even as we get older. And I'm talking to you men as well. You suffer from thyroid as well. Obviously, women hit it more and more often, but it does affect our men in our lives as well. So supporting the thyroid, it's not just about addressing one symptom or taking one supplement. It's about a comprehensive approach. And so it's diet, exercise, sleep, supplements, and taking the right supplements. So let's look at the common symptoms to look out for, because when you go to your doctor and they turn you out the door and say your labs are normal, you don't need medication, or the medication's working for you, and you say, I just don't feel right. Well, these are the symptoms to look out for so that you can go find another doctor or try something else. Because I always say, if it's not working for you, try something else. Pivot is the word, right? So number 1 is fatigue. So persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with rest or sleeping. Thyroid hormones are essential for that cellular production. We are only as energetic or as healthy as our cells. So when levels are low, energy production is significantly lowered and you feel exhausted. Weight gain out of nowhere. Are you eating less, exercising more, and gaining weight? Well, that should not be the case. You should actually be eating more, working out less, and still let go of weight, right? So difficulty managing weight despite your balance, your exercise and your diet balance, this could indicate that your thyroid's not functioning. Sluggish thyroid slows the metabolism, makes it harder to burn that fat, burn the calories, and it can affect your muscle tone and appetite regulation. So you cannot even produce the muscles, right? And we're going to get into one of the key ingredients for thyroid is iodine. Iodine is important for protein synthesis and muscle synthesis. So that's just away from the actual thyroid health. These ingredients or these supplements can actually be key to all these other factors and fat oxidation. Okay, cold sensitivity. Are you cold all the time and everyone else is not, or hot? Well, unusually sensitivity to cold, even when others feel comfortable, is another really common sign. Low thyroid hormones can reduce the blood circulation, lower overall body temperature, making you feel cold. So what's interesting is you grow up thinking that the normal body temperature of a human is 98.6. Have you taken your temperature lately? Have you ever been at 98.6? My husband was at 98.6 and higher because he had the flu, but we all have now come down to like 96.7, 97.4. That's not normal. We're all suboptimal. We all should be at 98.6 with that traditional mercury thermometer that our moms used to use with us. So your body temperature, your basal body temperature is key to whether you are suboptimal thyroid. So start taking your temperature. You don't have to go get a blood test. That's the easiest way for you to know. Is your skin dry, your hair dry and brittle? Well, thyroid hormones support cellular regeneration and oil production, and the deficiency in these hormones can result in that dry, flaky skin, brittle, thinning hair. And think about it, if your body doesn't have the energy to do anything, it's going to take care of your liver and your organs and all the expensive stuff in your body. It doesn't care what your hair looks like or your skin, right? Constipation. So everything becomes sluggish in the body when your thyroid isn't working. Everything, circulation, that's why you might have the edema, but you're constipated because your bowels are sluggish, your digestion is sluggish. Reduced gut motility along with lower water absorption and digestive enzyme production contributes to this issue because everything doesn't have the energy to do what it's supposed to be doing. You might have muscle weakness or joint pain. So this is particularly in your arms and legs. Swelling, inflammation are linked to low thyroid hormones, lead to puffiness and puffiness in the face, reduced mobility. So you just might feel achy, right? And that swelling, the edema, you can't get your rings off your finger, your ankles look fat. Ankles don't hold fat, right? So ankles are a great place for you to see if you're retaining extra water. Then that puffiness in the face, particularly around the eyes, is often due to fluid retention caused by inadequate thyroid hormone levels. Hoarseness, your voice might change. This is something interesting that you'll see in older people. And I actually have a family member, I've talked to her about it. I'm like, your voice is very hoarse. That is your thyroid. And it's something that you don't have control over. And it's also, you hear these famous singers that have been, rock stars for years and years and years. And then they try to get on the stage at 60 or 70 and they don't sound the same. It might be their thyroid, but that voice does change. Well, this is the thyroid's influence on the vocal cord function, particularly through the hormone T3. T3 is your metabolism. So when you're looking at the blood test that your doctor just ran on you, even if he's a fully functional doctor, a lot of times they're just doing TSH and T4. That tells you nothing. We need that free T3. You might be depressed. Most people on antidepressants have low thyroid. Most people who actually correct their thyroid who are on antidepressants actually can get off their antidepressants. Wouldn't that be amazing if you could get off your medication? Hallelujah, and feel good. Thyroid hormones play a key role in regulating the neurotransmitters like serotonin and norepinephrine. That's your stress hormone. So also, if you're low thyroid, your perceived stress, regardless of what the stressor is going to be higher. You're not going to be able to deal with your stressors as well. So low levels of these hormones can lead to symptoms of depression, particularly in individuals unresponsive to antidepressants. Now, another side note, and we're going to get to this, is that iodine. Well, iodine deficiency is the number one cause of depression. So many people come to me and say, oh my gosh, that brain fog lifted, that I can feel my hormones working. I can feel my energy back in my brain. I feel happy just from that iodine. It's amazing because we're so depleted in it, we don't even know what we're missing. You might have memory or cognitive issues, that brain fog, difficulty concentrating, memory lapses. They're common with hypothyroidism. Low thyroid levels can slow that mental process. Think about it. It's just circulation, getting circulation to your muscles and your brain. So you need that circulation from your thyroid, and that circulation impacts your brain as well. Menstrual irregularities. So women with hypothyroidism may experience heavier, irregular periods, worsen premenstrual symptoms, and the thyroid helps regulate the hormone balance necessary for a healthy menstrual cycle. So you've got the HPT axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid axis. That affects your HPG axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, gonadal axis. Those are your sex hormones, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. And it also is really important that iodine helps regulate the estrogen and the progesterone balance in the body. So it only makes sense that when you're helping your thyroid with iodine, that you're also helping your menstrual cycles. And I've seen this in my own household over the last 5 years with the pandemic. It has really wrecked our hormones. Estrogen dominance across the board, age groups of young girls to girls trying to get pregnant, to perimenopause, menopausal women, to the men in our lives. Everyone is affected with this estrogen dominance. Progesterone's in the tank, testosterone's in the tank in our men and our women. I've got young girls just wanting to be on birth control so their periods are manageable and their acne is manageable. Don't do it, girls. Don't do it, moms. That is a quick fix that is going to cause major issues down the road. There are ways to go at this naturally. And when you do the birth control pill just for that acne or the menstrual cycles, you're not getting to the root of the problem. You're masking it. You're putting a blanket over it. And then the root of the problem is down here deep, getting worse and worse and worse. And then it's going to wreak havoc later on. And you're going to go, wait, what happened? So please, 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 let's get to the root of the problem. Your body is telling you something. Symptoms are a gift. Symptoms are your sign of, okay, I need to pay attention to this. I need to dig a little deeper. And you know what? When you get to that root of the problem, you're going to strengthen your energy, your immune system, all of the other functions in your body that if you put a blanket over it and hide it, you've got gut issues, got brain issues, not just the menstrual issues that are festering even more and more and more. So hopefully that encourages you to dig a little deeper with these issues and these symptoms. Okay, next is just a slow heart rate. So use your Oura ring. Is your heart rate too slow? This occurs because the thyroid hormones influence strength and pace of the heart's contractions. Your heart is so affected by your thyroid. It's also affecting your liver. High cholesterol. Did you know just by having hypothyroidism, your cholesterol could go up? I've had so many people come to me saying, my cholesterol has gone up over the last 5 years and I haven't changed my diet. I haven't changed my workouts. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat processed foods, nothing. Well, this is tied to low thyroid function. The thyroid is critical for fat metabolism, and its dysfunction can lead to the elevated cholesterol. Muscle cramps. So, especially in the legs, that may result from poor circulation once again, and electrolyte imbalances or nerve dysfunction caused by hypothyroidism. I mentioned the puffy face and the swelling, but really in the face, particularly around the eyes, that's common. This is due to the fluid retention, poor circulation, the accumulation of certain sugars in the skin tissues, and that can obviously affect your daily life. So now I want to look into the thyroid-adrenal gonadal connection. I touched on the HPT and the HPA axis, but the adrenal health. This is also affected. They are all intertwined. The thyroid is that master endocrine gland, so it is influencing all of this, your mood, metabolism, overall well-being. So the thyroid is that master endocrine gland. It's the control center. It drives your metabolism, how efficiently you use your energy. It produces the hormones like T3 and T4. Now, T4 is inactive, and it stands for tyrosine and 4 molecules of iodine. Then you've got T3, which is tyrosine and 3 molecules of iodine. T4 does nothing until it's converted into T3. Okay, so this regulates everything from your heart rate, your body temperature, to fat metabolism and protein synthesis. But the thyroid doesn't work alone. It works with the adrenals. Your adrenal glands sit on top of your kidneys and produces cortisol, the stress hormone. That stress hormone gets you out of bed. We want that cortisol. And then it comes down at night so you can go to sleep. Well, a lot of us are burned out. A lot of our cortisols are just, out of whack. So we're wired and tired. We can't get out of bed, and then we can't fall asleep. So it also produces adrenaline and other key hormones. When you're stressed, the adrenals step up to help you cope, which is needed. And then here's where the thyroid comes in. Chronic stress can overwork your adrenals, which then signals the thyroid to say, we're in a survival mode. Let's shut everything down. We're in danger. Store that body fat. I don't know if we're going to hit a famine. I don't know if I'm going to be attacked by a tiger. I need to put a lot of fat around my expensive organs, the liver and the kidneys and the gut. So that's where the belly fat comes in. You get the shoulder fat up here. It's kind of like that beef up shoulder look, so that you're like a football player, for protection, because your body's in survival mode. And your body, when it thinks it's in danger, it needs to conserve that energy. So it converts that T4 into reverse T3 that causes your body to store body fat, not burn it. So this will lead to hypothyroidism. Your energy will drop, fatigue sets in, and you just keep going, and your battery pack, your adrenals are wiped out. You have no more money in the bank. You're just extending your credit card debt, right? And so where's that energy coming from? Then you try to take in the caffeine or the nicotine or something to give you that energy. You're just going into more debt and more debt and more debt. Now, the other interesting thing, and this is so, I'm super sensitive to this myself, is when the adrenals are sitting on top of the kidneys and they're overextended and you're just in adrenal fatigue, those kidneys swell up and inflame to hold up the adrenals. You're going to retain water. So that will worsen the water fluid and the edema and all of those things. Then you've got the gonads, the ovaries and the testes. They are responsible for producing the sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. These hormones don't just govern reproductive health. They influence your mood. They help with the muscle mass, fat distribution. The thyroid plays a key role. So the thyroid ensures that hormonal balance. When it's sluggish, it disrupts these hormones. Irregular cycles, can't build that muscle mass, low libido. And then the adrenals also influence the gonadal health. When cortisol levels are chronically high, your body's prioritizing survival over reproduction. If you're going to go into a famine or you're being chased by a tiger, your body doesn't want to hold on to a baby. It can't support that. So you're going to have infertility and other hormonal balances. Have you gone through a stressful time in your life and lost your period for a couple months? That's just a sign that your body says, yeah, we're not in a position where we can actually carry a baby right now. So this is where the thyroid is key. So it keeps cortisol levels in check, preventing the adrenal burnout. It supports that balance in the sex hormones, and it produces that efficiency or the energy. So all of the endocrine systems work together. So you want to focus on that thyroid. So what do we need to do? We want to use the supplements, diet, exercise, and sleep. You want to reduce that stress as much as you can. When I say that, I know that our stressors are at an all-time high, right? We've got family issues, we've got children, we've got aging parents, we've got financial stressors, we've got life circumstances. It's just overwhelming. But how are you taking in that stress? How are you filtering it in? That stress is going to be there regardless of how you filter it in, regardless if you see it as a 1 or a 10. So let's try to perceive our stressors as 1s or 2s. We're going to get through it regardless, right? Time passes, we're going to get through it. So let's try to take it easy on ourselves, because that stress is only going to kill you. Now, I also want to talk about the thyroid and liver. You gotta love your liver, not just for your thyroid health, but for your heart health, for your fat metabolism, for your protein assimilation, for your brain, for so many things. And over 45% of adults have fatty liver disease. Over 25% of children have fatty liver disease. The rates of obesity are skyrocketing. And it's not just about vanity and being overweight. It's what that is doing to the liver. It's what the liver is being bombarded with all of these toxins. I did a podcast on the fact that obesity is not necessarily coming from calories. It's coming from the chemicals and the toxins that our liver is trying to filter, and it can't. It's overwhelmed. And when the liver can't function, it can't break down those fats to use for energy. It can't break down those proteins and assimilate them into muscles and hair and help with your thyroid. So the liver and the thyroid are like best friends. They work together. They keep your metabolism humming, energy steady, and your hormones balanced. So just by the way the liver impacts your thyroid, and it affects your metabolism. I had liver issues over the last 6 months, and I'm going to go into that in another podcast. But because of that, I saw my thyroid numbers on my blood test plummet. My testosterone plummeted. It was all related to my liver. Your thyroid produces the T4 and the T3, but the T4 has to convert into T3, and most of that conversion happens in your liver. So if your liver is not functioning, that conversion is not going to happen. And in fact, it might convert into that reverse T3, which causes your body to store that fat and to go into survival mode, slow the circulation, get rid of the, not worry about hair loss and skin and all of the things that we've talked about. So this is how the sluggish liver will slow your metabolism. It struggles to filter out those toxins from the blood, from the chemicals, the fluoride in the water, the artificial ingredients in our processed foods, the GMOs, the glyphosate, the air. I'm in Southern California during the LA wildfires. They had to use the fire retardant to put out the fires, but that was full of bromide that clogs your thyroid, and it fills those iodine receptor sites and all of the other substances that were being burned. It's all in the air. I don't care where you live in Southern California, right? So those toxins are burdening your liver, and then that T4 to T3 conversion is not happening. Your liver plays a role in breaking down excess hormones, the bad estrogens. And if your liver isn't detoxifying efficiently, estrogen increases, leading to that estrogen dominance I talked about. And that can suppress your thyroid function, throwing your metabolism off. And then, of course, all of your hormones and all of the other issues we've talked about. A stressed liver leads to fat buildup in the liver itself, that fatty liver disease. And this not only impairs the liver's ability to support the thyroid, but also contributes to overall weight gain, insulin resistance, which is further going to slow your metabolism. That's why it's this vicious cycle and this domino effect. So it's not just one thing, you're getting it from a whole bunch of different angles. And it's not just a one-way street. The thyroid impacts the liver. So if your thyroid is underactive, it slows down your liver's ability to detoxify the toxins and metabolize the fat, creating the cycle where both organs become sluggish. And if the overactive thyroid in hyperthyroidism, which is less common, can overburden your liver by increasing the workload as it speeds up the metabolism across the board. So your liver, you gotta love your liver. You know, people forget about their liver. They don't think it does much, and they're just focused on the weight loss, calories in, calories out. Well, weight loss is gonna not come unless you got a functioning liver. That's why I always say you got to do your liver cleanses. But it's when it's working well, it clears out the toxins, balances the hormones, converts the thyroid hormones into their active form, keeping your metabolism efficient, your energy high. And when it's underworked or overworked and underperforming, it sets off this cascade of issues, right? So you want to look at some different factors. If your liver's sluggish, you can look at some of the same symptoms that you saw with the thyroid being sluggish, but also another one would be if you get nauseous when you eat fat, especially you guys that are on a high-fat ketogenic diet. Most people can't handle that right now because if your liver's not working, it can't break up the fat, and then you're going to feel nauseous. And if you're feeling nauseous after eating fat, your liver's got to get some help, right? So, and also if you're having skin breakouts, your liver's your biggest detox organ, or I should say it's the second biggest detox organ. The first is your skin. So if your liver's not filtering out these toxins, your body's going to say, I got to get them out somewhere. I'm going to get them out of your skin. I'm going to create acne in the teenagers or have skin rashes, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, all of those things. So what do we do about it? What do we do about it? Now, if you go to the doctor and they put you on a T4 medication, only 2% of you are going to actually feel any difference because a lot of times they're not addressing the liver. So T4 actually might make you worse. And I had one of my best friends said, I started my T4 medication again. I'm actually gaining weight. I don't understand. And she's not eating any food. She's eating so little food. So it's not diet. Or intake of calories. Well, if that T4 is not converting to T3, it's converting to reverse T3, and that's causing the weight gain and the body to store extra fat. So we want to do this the right way. And I've touched on already the importance of iodine. 96% of you are iodine deficient. You are not getting it through iodized salt. You're not getting it through your diet. Our soils are depleted of iodine and all minerals, right? So we have to be supplementing now. There's no option. We have to be very proactive with taking care of our health now. So iodine provides that iodine molecule for the T4, T3, and even the T2. The T2 is a fat burner, and the tyrosine comes from our wild animal protein that we'll be talking about. But you need those building blocks for your thyroid hormones. It is the cornerstone of thyroid health. Now, we need it for inside the cell. We need iodine to increase that ATP inside the mitochondria. Guess what the number one cause of mitochondrial failure is? Iodine deficiency. The number one cause of depression, iodine deficiency. We need that ATP. We need that cellular energy. If you don't have that cellular energy, you're reaching for the coffee that's going to take out more money out of the bank than you have, right? And deplete those adrenals. The kidneys are affected. The gonadal system's affected. All of these things. Your bank is empty. We don't want that. I'm not against coffee. I love my coffee every morning, but that's not the basis of my energy. So we want to increase that iodine in the mitochondria to increase that ATP number to its optimal number of 36. Okay. So we need it inside the cells. we need iodine on the cell membrane. You have an iodo-lipid value on your cell membrane. That is the brain of the cell, to let the toxins out of the cells and the nutrients into the cells. You cannot get nutrients into the cells and you cannot get toxins out of the cells without enough iodine and without the healthy fats or the healthy lipids. And that's why I love the PC, because that gives you that healthy lipid layer, the phosphatidylcholine. So those two together support that cell membrane. Then you need the iodine for outside the cells. Outside the cell, it's cleansing the blood so the liver can do its job. And then it's also enhancing the body's ability to detox the bad estrogens. Okay, so it provides the thyroid hormone production. It's the raw material to make those T3 and T4 hormones. It detoxifies the body. So as it's cleansing the blood, it's flushing out halogens like fluoride, bromide, chlorine. You've got all of these things in your water, in your air, things that we have no control of. Fluoride is one of the most difficult things to get out of water because it's so small. Even the very best water filters out there might be missing that fluoride. And this is a big deal. And this is why even the government has come out saying, fluoride might not be so great in our water. It's dumbing down our kids. It's lowering their IQ. And so it's also lowering our IQ, not just our children, but they're always focused on the children, which they should be, but it's affecting us as well. So it is very important to kick out those toxins. Dr. Brownstein, when he was on my podcast talking about iodine and the importance of it, he said almost all of his women with breast cancer had too much bromide in their breast tissue and they were iodine deficient. So bromide, chlorine, fluoride all look like iodine. So when they go to the cells, and if there's not iodine in those receptor sites, those other toxins find a home and fill those receptor sites. If you have plenty of iodine in your body, then guess what? Those toxins have no place to go and they just get flushed out. And yes, your liver needs to flush them out. But with that being said, there's no place for them to take hold. Accelerated iodine is the only iodine that is monoatomic. What does that mean? It is I-. It is looking for places to go in every area of your body to fit the receptor sites of all 100 trillion cells in the body. You don't need multiple types of iodine like some people believe to feed the different areas of your body, because those different types of iodine that people are talking about break down in your body into that monoatomic I- that is needed for every cell. So all other iodine supplements get about 10 to 20% absorption. Accelerated iodine enhanced with scalar frequencies gets close to 100%. So there's no other iodine like it. It really helps with the detoxification, feeding your thyroid, cleansing the brain, decalcifying the brain, lifting that brain fog, getting the circulation to everywhere in your body. You really feel a difference. And paired with that is accelerated thyroid. So this formula combines ancient Ayurvedic herbs that I've been using forever. One is Conchinara with that glandular support, and then of course enhanced with scalar frequencies. We add in peptides and other nutrients that are very important for the thyroid, but it goes beyond just managing the symptoms. And it takes the guesswork out of whether your body is going to convert that T4 to T3. So it targets the underlying cause of the dysfunction. And it also helps detoxify the thyroid, balancing the hormones, balancing the full endocrine system. And the scalar frequencies are meant to neutralize the toxins that affect the thyroid. So between the accelerated iodine, accelerated thyroid, most people are able to get off their thyroid medication and their antidepressants. Now, of course, with the guidance of your doctor, right? So you want to be using the two of them together and see how that circulation is. See how if your constipation improves, if your gut improves, the motility, all of those things. Now, you might still have leaky gut and other issues that we need to address, but you will see an improvement in overall vitality because your thyroid is that master endocrine gland. Now, I talked about the importance of the liver. And like I said, when my liver numbers were through the roof, my thyroid numbers were in the tank. My iron was also high. My testosterone was down. Everything was out of whack. Your liver is that unsung hero. And so the accelerated liver care, it was a God thing, came out when I was going through my own liver situation. And my numbers went from horrifically high, skyrocketing numbers down to close to normal within 2 weeks with accelerated liver care. I've never seen that drastic of an improvement with a supplement before. It flushes out the toxins, heavy metals, the waste products that can interfere with the thyroid conversion. It regenerates liver cells, reduces inflammation throughout the body, improves that fat and protein metabolism, and it is full of 13 very rare herbs from around the globe. We source our herbs only from the best of the best. We concentrate them. So it's like getting 10 pounds of an herb in 1 pound in the supplement. And then the way we manufacture and synergistically put the herbs together, we put them in the exact ratios that are going to enhance the overall life force of the supplement. So a lot of companies will just fairy dust an herb in there so they can put it on the label. That's not what we're doing. We put them in the exact ratios, and you're going to have ingredients like tonka that you've heard of, but ingredients like Palperera that you've never heard of. Palperera has many studies about liver cancer, cirrhosis, some very serious liver conditions, but there's other ingredients there that are also antiviral, boosting the immune system, helping with gallstones. And I know a lot of you don't want to do a complete liver flush. Just with the accelerated liver care, you're going to actually start breaking down those liver stones and gallstones. It is a game changer. You're going to see an improvement in your protein and fat breakdown and assimilation. We're only as good as what we assimilate. It's not just about how many grams of protein you're taking in. If your body's not using it, it's stored as fat. You've got to help your liver to do the work. So accelerated liver care is a thyroid supplement, believe it or not. Next, you can add in accelerated fast. So intermittent fasting is one of the most effective ways to reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and boost fat metabolism, which all support thyroid health. But a lot of people are anti-fasting. Are we pro-fasting? It's a little bit, which way to go? Well, accelerated fast takes the stress off of your body to incorporate intermittent fasting when you want to, and it reduces the inflammation that throughout the body. It's also helping cleanse the liver so that your liver can do that conversion T4 to T3. It increases your happy hormones, the GABA, the serotonin, the dopamine, so that you're not stressing your body when you're doing your fasting. And it also enhances that energy production, the ATP that's so important for your energy. I love this. I take it daily. It gives me those ketones for my brain in the morning. I take my accelerated iodine. I wait 12 minutes because you need time to let it absorb in all the cells. I take my accelerated thyroid, and then I wait at least 45 minutes, and you can actually take your accelerated fast with your accelerated liver care and your new accelerated aminos if you're incorporating those as well for that muscle building, the strength, the recovery, and the additional energy. You can take those together, and that is just going to give you a whole lot of energy, ATP, fat burning, lean muscle building, all at the same time. And you're doing it in a fasted state, which is only going to help stabilize your blood sugar and your insulin resistance even more. And your liver's loving you at the same time. Your brain's on fire, so you actually want to work out more and lift a little heavier and maybe run an extra mile, whatever it is, but you feel great. And then you want to follow this up with the accelerated ancient salt. We need hydration, and hydration is not just about water. You can dehydrate yourself with just water. I am actually encouraging you all to look into the Hume body scale. It's the body pod. It measures your muscle, your fat, but it also measures your intracellular water and your extracellular water. The extracellular water is the puffiness, the inflammation, the water we don't necessarily want. Intracellular water comes from that hydration, from the salts and the electrolytes that gets into the cells. It helps having electrolytes like the accelerated ancient salt, which has over 62 minerals, helps pump up the blood to flush out the toxins that we're getting out with the liver care and with the accelerated iodine. But it also supports that sodium potassium pump inside and outside the cells, and it helps eliminate the waste products, supports that cellular hydration, the intracellular hydration. The other thing it does is a lot of times when we think we're craving sugar, we're actually craving salt. So just by putting a little of the salt on your tongue, you're going to see your cravings actually diminish. You can add in, I love the thyroid fixer. This is T2. And this is like that cherry on top, right? You want to make sure you're addressing your iodine deficiency and using accelerated thyroid first, and then adding in the thyroid fixer. And this has that T2, which is for that extra fat burning. It helps boost the metabolism, balances blood sugar, and it helps with the energy and focus and all of that as well. If your adrenals are tapped, if you just say, I don't think it's just my liver, I don't think it's just my thyroid, I think I'm in stage 4 adrenal fatigue, I just can't feel that battery pack, right? You can use adrenaline. This is something that I will go on and off of depending on my stressors in my life. It just gives you that adrenal glandular to give you that extra support. It helps balance the cortisol levels. It helps you deal with your stressors better, and it's going to affect your hormones as well. Now, the toxins that are bombarding our liver, right? They're slowing down our liver, slowing down our metabolism, affecting our thyroid health. Well, the accelerated cellular detox powder soaks up those toxins, gets them out of the body really quickly. This is something I take every day. I know I'm going through a lot of supplements. You may not be able to take all of these supplements. This might be overwhelming. So I want you to listen to the rest of this to see, okay, well, maybe I'll add that down the line, or maybe, yes, no, I need all of this now. So as we're talking about supplements, you might be someone that just does not have the bandwidth to take on more than 2 supplements. And if that's the case, accelerated iodine, accelerated thyroid. If you can take 3, accelerated iodine, accelerated thyroid, accelerated liver care, right? Okay, so then as we're going into the rest of these, you need to think about your symptoms in your body. So the accelerated cellular detox powder is going to help soak up those toxins, including those excess estrogens that you're taking out. It's going to help heal your gut, reduce inflammation in your gut. It also binds to the heavy metals. It also helps with cellular repair. It has chitosan in it, which helps take out and carry out excess cholesterol and dietary fat from your meals that maybe you just had a little too much fat. So it helps with weight management in that as well. Take it at night, right before you go to bed. You can put it in juice. You can put it in water with a little apple cider vinegar or lemon and some sweetener, and it tastes fine. It just goes down, right? You just have to get it down. So each of these supplements, like a piece to the puzzle, addresses different aspects of the thyroid health, the nutrient support, detoxification. But what you want to do too is you want to make sure you're focusing on your diet, prioritizing that wild animal protein. That is the most nutrient dense food on the planet, with the vitamins and minerals that you think you're getting from your fruits and vegetables. Eat your fruits and vegetables. I love my fruits and vegetables, but I look to my wild animal protein for my nutrients. I love bison and venison, elk, lamb, wild fish. Those are my favorites. Those are my go-tos. You want to stay away from the amyloid proteins that are found in chicken and pork, conventionally raised beef. Those proteins are hard on the liver. They trip up the gut pathogens that are going to cause gut issues and the bloat and constipation. And they're also going to get deposited in your brain and cause Alzheimer's and dementia down the road, but they're going to wreak havoc on your hormones. So you want to stay away from those as much as possible. Use the accelerated food guide to find the vegetables, the grains that may work for you, the beans that are okay, the fruits that are the best to focus on. And that accelerated food guide is your key and your roadmap to the diet that you want to use to optimize thyroid health. So hopefully that was helpful. Make sure you're sleeping. If you're not sleeping, all the wheels come off. The thyroid, adrenals, the liver, everything, your brain. None of this matters if you're not sleeping. But you need to get on a schedule to create good circadian rhythms. Wake up, look at the sunlight. When you go to bed, maybe go for a short 10-minute walk at dusk. That sets your circadian rhythms. Get off the screen 2 hours at least before bed. Try to stop eating at least 3 hours before bedtime. All of these things are keys to your sleep health. And then, of course, move your body. Promote that muscle, right? We got to have that muscle for a healthy overall life and longevity. Stop the chronic cardio. These are just a few tips that I've gone into in a lot of my podcasts, and you can go and look at those as well. So thanks for listening. Our discussion does not have to stop here. If you're feeling lost and don't know where to start, I know it can be confusing. So you can get your free supplement protocol. Just go to SaraBantaHealth.com, complete the form, and I will personally put together a protocol for you. Follow me on social media at Accelerated Health Products and join the free group coaching. If I triggered a thought and you got a question, that's where you put it. And you'll learn from others people, and you can post your testimonials or your feedback, and I post new information to keep you learning every single day. You can find this podcast and all the podcasts at Accelerated Health with Sara Banta on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, E360, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and over 100 different platforms. Share this podcast with your friends. How many of your friends are complaining about weight gain? They don't know why. They say their blood tests are normal and they feel stuck. That's about everybody. And so please share this podcast and help me spread the information to everybody. You can use podcast 10 coupon for 10% off your first order. And remember, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So join me next time for more ways to unlock your health potential.